319! 399! 319! 399!
Welcome to Avg Joes Sports Show. I'm here with Colton, and today we're going to be continuing with our playoff predictions, and today we're going to be starting off with our NFC.
Yep, we did AFC last show. I felt like that was, you could kind of tell who was going to be in the playoffs, I think, but I think this should be a lot better of a show because I feel like in the NFC there's only about 3 or 4 teams that you can say are true, like, Super Bowl
Playoff caliber teams.
I guess, but I could say that there's 3 teams that are Super Bowl contenders.
Super Bowl contender? I'm thinking like 2, maybe 3, but I don't know about 4. 4 is a little bit up there.
All right.
But
So I guess we'll just start. Do you want to go like the AFC? We went 1-7, or do you want to start 7-1?
1-7.
1-7. All right. Who's your 1 seed? Rams. I mean, they did lose their offensive coordinator, but
I think that there's just too much around them to not be good. And yes, they did lose their offensive coordinator, but
I mean,
at the same, they kind of switched around their offense.
Why not?
From 2 years ago to last year a lot. And I mean, if they can just stick with what they had last year, and now they have Allen Robinson, they might get Odell back. I'm not sure, but Allen Robinson's a huge replacement over Robert Woods.
He's better than Odell in my opinion.
No, he's not.
Okay,
I don't think he's
like
good.
I mean, Odell was still good in the playoffs, but Allen Robinson I feel like is still better than Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, I get it putting the Rams as your number 1. I mean, just won the Super Bowl. I get it. You know who my number 1 seed is?
Who?
The Dallas Cowboys. That's right. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be their year where they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't care that they lost Randy Gregory and Amari Cooper. They're going to be better than they were last year.
How? I just want to ask how. That's it. That's literally it. I just want to see it like how.
Dak
that they're
is
going to be the number 1 seed.
Hey, this was the same team that started 6-1 last year that everyone thought was a top 3 team.
The same team that had Amari Cooper, Randy
It doesn't
Gregory,
matter.
Connor Williams, Cedric
You're
Wilson.
acting like Connor Williams is good, bro. He led the league in all penalties.
That doesn't mean
he had
he's bad.
16 holds.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's bad.
It doesn't matter. He wasn't good.
That was a bad stat.
He wasn't good.
That was a bad stat, but it's not like he's a bad player.
He's like middle of the pack guard. Like he's okay signing for Miami, but it's not like he's gonna change your offensive line. And so what they
From
lost?
bums? Yes, he will.
Okay, I guess Amari Cooper. Yeah,
I guess.
Dak's numbers without Amari Cooper are okay. They're subpar, but now he's gonna adjust because
Amari Cooper was like a dog in Dallas. He was.
Okay.
His stats were like he had almost 1,000 yards every year, and he almost had double-digit touchdowns every single year.
Okay, but you're not getting any of that credit to Dak though. You're just giving it to Amari Cooper.
You just said that Dak was not playing as
He's
good.
subpar. I'm not saying it was
Like,
terrible.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not
And now
saying
he
it was
lost
terrible.
Him and he lost.
Dude, don't even say
Somewhat-
Cedric Wilson. Don't even say Cedric Wilson is
Cedric
good.
Wilson had his best year.
Because Michael Gallup was out.
Okay, it's like not. That's not. That doesn't really mean like a whole lot. Michael Gallup is good, but I mean, you still have to be good to put up stats. Just because somebody's out doesn't mean that you're gonna automatically play good because you're replacing them. He's a good player. He had like 700 yards last year, which is not that good. But for being a wide receiver 4 in that offense,
I mean, I get it, but they have a great running back duo in the backfield. You can't even tell me that they don't. I guess their offensive line is a little bit down in the dumps with age, and I guess Connor Williams, you lose a guard either way. I mean, that's still bad.
It's still
And then,
bad.
but I like their defense. That's the big thing. They re-signed J-Ron Cruz, which I really like that move. You still have Tank Lawrence. You still have Trayvon Diggs. You still have a top 3 defensive player in the league in Micah Parsons. I just really like.
See, but DeMarcus Lawrence, he's good. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from him, but like I think he's kind of not where he used to be, like that dominant edge rusher that he used to be. Like he was like easily a top 10 pass rusher at one point. Now I think he's fell off a lot. Micah Parsons, insane, incredible. Trayvon Diggs, amazing, complete ball hawk. I don't think he'll get 10 interceptions or 10 plus interceptions again, but I think there's a real possibility he'll get a lot. I think he'll get a lot more pass breakups this year, and Micah Parsons will still probably get double-digit sacks. But at the same time, it's like they have Leighton Vander Esch.
I get it.
He's okay.
You're just hating
But
on.
it's like outside of Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence. I'll give them that. Who are like their standout defensive players that you think are going to really shine in their defense?
We're going to find out. Jabril Cox, second year. Hopefully he breaks
LSU.
out. Okay, that's not going to change it. He's
LSU,
good.
BBU.
He's a very good prospect that a lot of people forgot that they picked up. I mean, they're safe.
I think he's going to do. I don't think he's going to change the Dallas defense.
I'm not saying that he is either. You're just hating, okay?
I'm not hating. But there's no like valid.
Look at who's in their division. That is my biggest reason right now.
Yeah, but the 1 seed.
Yeah, because that's an easy 6 wins right there. They're gonna sweep their division, and then I already looked at their upcoming opponents.
I don't know if they'll sweep their division.
It's okay.
I don't know if they'll sweep their division.
Who's
but
your 2 seed?
The Buccaneers.
Okay.
Do you have?
I have the Rams as my 2. Okay, I feel
Okay.
like. I mean, Brady's
Respectable.
Tom Brady's Tom Brady. You know, I don't know if Gronk's coming back. He's not gonna make that big of a difference.
They re-signed Godwin.
Godwin, you're gonna have Evans. It's gonna be pretty much the same team from last year. You're gonna lose Ali Marpet,
And they got
potentially
Vita
Gronk.
too, or back.
But their defense is pretty much the exact same. They re-signed Carlton Davis. You still have Antoine Winfield. You still have Devin White, Levante David.
Hopefully they get Lenny back.
Potentially, yeah, they already re-signed Lenny a while ago.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. Because Ronald
How
Jones,
did I not? Oh yeah, because the Chiefs got Ronald Jones.
they already re-signed Leonard Fournette once Brady said he came out of retirement.
And they got they re-signed one of their guards, Ali Marpet. I'm pretty sure.
He's the one that retired.
So they didn't re-sign him.
No,
Never mind.
exactly. But they'll still be good. They're like a Cowboys situation where I feel like their division isn't going to be very competitive. I mean, the Panthers have a pick. I don't know if they're going to waste it. I'm not going to say waste it, but I don't know if they're going to use their pick on a quarterback. If they don't, then I think then.
I really don't know who. I don't know what maybe an offensive lineman, I guess. Because right now their defensive line is pretty set. Their corners.
No, I like their defense. They just need a quarterback. That's why I think.
Maybe like a solid middle linebacker.
I already like Shaq
But
Thompson. I like
Shaq
Shaq
Thompson's like good, and probably just a second. As just linebacker depth. They
Yeah.
get outside, but they have no Burns is an end. I don't know who their left outside is or their right.
They lost
but-
Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, that's not right.
So, okay, who's your 3?
Dallas.
Okay. So you did have them winning their division still.
Yes, because after you showed me Philly's schedule last year,
Exactly.
they didn't really win any big games.
I mean, they do have 2 first-round picks,
They
but it's
have
still
2 firsts, but it's like, do you
They're
really
gonna
think
have-
those 2 firsts are going to make an impact throughout the whole season? Or not throughout the whole season, because any first-round pick could, but it's like, do you think that they're going to make that much of an impact on the Eagles?
You got to
like,
think, because
boost
the
them up to
Eagles
playoffs?
don't have one star player. You cannot tell me one player on the Eagles.
Darius Slay.
He's not a star player, in my opinion.
He made the Pro Bowl last year.
Okay, Pro Bowl's a popularity contest. Man had like 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns, and they decided to put him in the
Dude,
Pro Bowl.
Darius Leonard-
AJ Terrell should have made the Pro Bowl over Darius Slay.
Leonard is a Pro Bowl caliber corner.
Darius Leonard? Darius Slay?
Darius Slay is a year in, year out Pro Bowl cornerback. And you're telling
When
me
he was on the Lions,
he just made the Pro Bowl on Philly.
I just said it was a popularity contest.
I will give
You
you
know
that,
for a
though.
fact AJ Terrell should have
I
made the
will
Pro
give
Bowl.
you
It
that.
doesn't matter.
I will give you that. It is a lot more of a popularity contest than
Doesn't matter. It
ever
doesn't matter.
right now. But he's still. It's like it's not
Doesn't
like
matter.
AJ Terrell should have made it over him, but Darius Slay is still a Pro Bowl star cornerback.
Back to what I was saying, though. The Eagles don't have any star power. I don't care who they draft. They still have Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. I mean, Devonta Smith, hopefully he develops into something. But when your third best player on offense is potentially Dallas Goedert or Miles Sanders, I cannot see them being that good.
Yeah, they don't have like a really go-to kind of guy on offense, I guess. And it's kind of like they're okay here and they're okay there. And they're decent here, but it's like there's no place where like teams really have to like worry specifically about the Eagles. Maybe their run game, but like at the same time it's like Miles Sanders.
It doesn't work when you play good teams.
Exactly. It's like Miles Sanders isn't gonna carry you through all these games. Like the rushing can only get you so far.
All right. Who's your 4 seed? I already think we might have the same thing. Who's your 4 seed?
Vikings.
Oh, see, I have the Packers. I don't know. Explain to me why you think the Vikings are gonna win the NFC North.
Okay, I can easily see the Packers, but they lost Devontae Adams.
Okay.
And they lost Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Okay.
They don't have a number 1 wide receiver.
They lost to Darius Smith too.
Granted, Aaron Rodgers can play good and does play good without good wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of teams' attentions were focused on Devontae Adams, and they're getting Aaron Jones for a full season this year. Hopefully, they'll be getting him for a full season.
Well, they just re-signed A.J. Dillon too.
Well, yeah, but I think Aaron Jones is.
You potentially get David
top 10 running
Bakhtiari.
back.
You potentially get the best left tackle in football when healthy back. Their defense I really like. Eric Stokes. You're gonna get Jair Alexander back.
He was there for he was out for like.
Devondre Campbell, who just made first team All-Pro, although I don't agree with it. He still had a really good year. Kenny Clark, a rising star in Rashawn Gary, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. I feel like, and obviously back-to-back MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, he's gonna win the division. You can't say that he's not until another team in the NFC North wins it, and until Aaron Rodgers leaves, it's gonna be the Packers.
See, but when you were talking about the Packers defensive players like Kenny Clark, stud, Jair Alexander, stud, Adrian Amos.
He's a stud. Don't even say he's not.
Adrian Amos, I think his best years are behind him. I think he's still a good safety. I don't think he's anything super special. I think he's a good, solid, above average safety. Darnell Savage, I think, has a lot more potential. And I think he actually, I don't know if he'll break out this year, but I think he'll do a lot better, and he'll be talked about more after this season. And Eric Stokes, I don't know. Eric Stokes.
He had a pretty decent rookie year.
He had like a decent rookie year. But
You don't see a lot of corners break out in their first year.
Yeah, you don't see a lot. I don't know. Eric Stokes it has been a huge question mark to me, but I don't know. I honestly don't.
It's all going to depend on who they draft too. So obviously
Yeah.
everyone's saying that they're going to draft a receiver. They have 2 first-round picks this year, so I could see them potentially going, Garrett, whoever they want. They have
Whoever's
2
there.
mid-20 second-round picks, so they'll be able to get somebody good. The wide receiver class is really deep this year.
I think they're going to want to try to get one of the better wide receivers at the top of, or at their higher 20th pick than their lower one, because I think that there are wide receiver needy teams like right in front of them too, and I think that they're going to be taking. I think there's going to be a lot more
Could you see
receivers taken in the first round than.
If there's a lot of wide receiver needy teams, do you see the Packers potentially trading up? Just quick question. No. If there's a guy that's there.
I think there's a lot of receivers, but I don't think there's a lot of receivers. I don't think there's
like
receivers
if Garrett
to
Wilson
trade up for.
Like if Garrett Wilson is on the board at 20, do you trade up? No.
It's like Garrett Wilson's good.
I'm just saying that's just one player. There could be somebody else there.
Yeah,
a receiver in general.
I don't think there's receivers in this draft. I think you could trade up to get them. But I don't think that the Packers are going to want to, especially at 20. I think that there's a good chance that maybe, I think at most 3 receivers get taken in the first 20 picks, at most. So it's if the first 3 are gone, let's just say Drake, Olave and Wilson. Then there's still Jamison Williams there, and there's still Traylon Burks. There's still Sky Moore. Like those are all Sky Moore's a little bit more out there, but Traylon Burks and Jamison Williams are clear-cut top 5 wide receivers in this draft.
All right, who do you have as your 5, the first wild card team?
I had the 49ers.
Okay, I also had the 49ers. Okay, they were one of my 3 Super Bowl contending teams that I was talking about.
Okay.
So I had.
Oh yeah, because the Rams made it. Never mind.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say Dallas is a Super Bowl contending team. They always choke in the playoffs. They're good in regular season.
I honestly don't think that they're Super Bowl winning teams to begin with.
Rams, Buccaneers, 49ers, potentially Dallas, and Packers, Aaron Rodgers. But we already know how the Packers perform in the playoffs, so there's no need to talk about that.
Honestly, but I don't know how the 49ers are going to do just because, I mean, Mike McDaniel was a huge hit to their
that's true.
offense, but at the same
he's
time,
from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. I don't know if he actually did call the plays or not.
Yeah, so it's like we don't even know if he fully called the plays to begin with.
And they didn't really lose much, to be honest, at all.
They didn't lose much, and I mean, they didn't really gain a whole lot.
That's
either,
fine,
I
though.
guess. So, I mean, and they that's like not a bad thing, but I mean, it's not a good thing.
They're
really
still yet
necessarily
to. I mean, I think
they made the playoffs last year with virtually the same team they have right now, and I mean, I think probably the biggest hit on their team was McDaniel, but even then, it's like he might have called the plays, but we don't really know.
Yeah. So who's your 6 then?
My computer's dead, so
Your computer's dead. Okay, so you don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, my 6 seed was the Minnesota Vikings. So
But I can think of one off the top of my head.
I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins. I always have been. I feel like he's criminally underrated. He's a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. He'd be like around the 9-10 range. You already have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. You have Dalvin Cook. Their offensive line, yeah, I mean, they got the Rams offensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell.
That's huge. Absolutely huge for Justin Jefferson.
We'll see. He is coming from the Sean McVay, I don't know how he's going to, we'll see. But
they said that they want, Kevin O'Connell said he wants to use Justin Jefferson in a Cooper Kupp role.
Okay, and Mike McDaniel said, we're going to use Tyreek Hill like Deebo Samuel. Everyone's going to, you can't compare players. I think Justin Jefferson is better than Cooper Kupp.
Well, I'm not comparing them, but I'm just saying you can use a player in a role similar
I get what you're saying. And then I like their defense. Zadarius Smith, Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks.
Lethal.
Yeah.
Lethal pass.
Plus, their division is pretty weak besides the Packers,
and
let's be
they have
honest.
the 12th overall pick, which I have a lot of their mock drafts are them getting a corner.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to get, they have Pat Pete, but, outside of him is, really nobody's.
True. So, my final seed, I was debating on a few teams here, but I had the Washington Commanders.
Dude, it
was between.
I remember my sixth pick, I had the Packers, and seventh I wanted to put, I had either Washington or the Panthers. But
there's a lot of teams. The NFC is just overall weak to where I feel like there's a lot of teams that are going to be scraping for a playoff spot. Kind of like how it was last year.
I think the Panthers will make it over. I think that Washington has a better shot right now, but I think the Panthers, if they get a quarterback maybe at 8, I think that'll boost them up.
What about the Bears?
Completely.
Do you potentially see them at all with how weak the NFC is? Just say this. This is the scenario. Justin Fields puts together a top 18, top 15 quarterback season. The play calling is a lot better. They end up drafting a receiver. Let's say they draft.
What pick do they have?
They have the 39th and the 46th. Something. I know they have the 39th for sure.
Yeah.
So that's a very early second-round pick. I say they could go out and get a pretty decent corner. So
you're thinking corner first?
I
think corner's definitely.
But basically,
more of a need than
like I said, if they go out and draft, say, a corner and a receiver, Justin Fields plays good. Do you think that they could sneak into the playoffs potentially?
Now these guys have to be like studs. Like I'm talking like
Okay, well,
even because if
in my personal opinion, they're not going to make the playoffs.
don't think
I
they
think
will
they're going to
either.
be bad. But I'm just saying, as an optimistic Bears fan, with how bad the NFC theoretically should be,
I think
if they string together some wins with the weaker schedule that they have, is
even
what
if
I'm
they
saying.
do, even if they do get a better corner, I think that their pass rush was good last year just with Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
But I mean, Khalil Mack was huge, so
I
that
mean-
was a huge loss. But I think that there's a long shot that they could make it, but anything could happen. It's the NFL.
So
Sunday.
that's going to be it for the show today. Those were our NFC playoff predictions. Come back next time. Me and Jackson are going to put together our rough drafts for our first mock draft, seeing that we're probably going to be about 2.5 weeks away from April 28th. NFL draft in Las Vegas.
Wish our teams had a first, but I'd rather have Tyreek go.
Avg Joes out.
Green 18!